Frank,
Dynamite.
Frank, come on, in, man.
Can I Be Frank is all about capturing real, authentic, unedited conversation. Please do consider supporting the process of podcasting and video making on Patreon or through PayPal. I will put some links in the description below. Thanks a mil.
Thanks a mil for doing this. How do you pronounce your name? It's Rosemarijn?
Rosemarijn.
Rosemarijn.
Yeah, say Rose.
Rose. Okay.
Yeah, that's better because it's a bit difficult. Most people are finding it very difficult in English.
Yeah, well, Rose is universal.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
I probably we may have seen each other. I go to meetings. I've gone to Tony Parsons' meeting from time to time.
Yeah.
I was there in December, so I think that was my first time in a couple of years in that smaller room in December.
Yeah. I'm the organizer, so I have to meet you, but
yeah,
it's hard to remember.
Well, it was, I think, Jamie. You know Jamie? Did you ever meet Jamie? Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie booked it anyway. It
sounds a bit familiar, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, when I look to do these sorts of chats, I kind of worry, well, what am I going to talk about this time? Because it's not like it's not like it's your regular subject. It's just not, and it's trying to. I'm obviously very curious about this area. I've been into it for a long time, despite myself. Almost, it's not like I go around and say, "Oh, I love this," or this subject is bliss for me, or anything like that. It's is not. There's actually nothing in it for me, and yet, but still, somehow I come back to have chats about it with. And I found you. I just found a 15-minute thing on YouTube of you talking in English. I think most of the stuff you do is probably in Dutch, but I really liked the. It was just so ordinary in how you were chatting about it. It wasn't anything special or anything.
Great. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's normally the way I talk, because all those words like consciousness and non-duality, it's a kind of abstract word, so I don't like that so much. I don't use them, because especially when I'm speaking in Dutch, it's more the normal language. It can't be that kind of stuff, because I just started also in English in Dutch, because I was so many times to Tony Parsons, and I thought, oh, maybe I can gonna use those words from him, because I heard so many times those words from him. So maybe I started in Dutch. It was only after a few years that it happened. So that was all right, because then it's just my way of talking.
Yeah, because I liked it in a sense of it was just your tone almost is just so ordinary. It was kind of like you were describing the weather outside, and it's kind of, you know, I liked that. And I suppose it is ordinary in a way, even though, you know, somebody like me, maybe I put something on this sort of, you know, I think there's something in it, even though, you know, you hear there is no liberation and there is no contraction and there actually is no separation. From the perspective of somebody, you know, that should be enough to stop being interested in it for a person, if you know what I mean. It should be enough to just go, okay, well, that's fine then, I'll go somewhere else. But yet in that kind of, what do you mean there's nothing in it for me? That kind of, I don't know. I can't explain why I seem to be interested in this.
But in a sense, you can't hear it. because if there's a me, there's always a looking. It's always trying to find in, how is that, in a kind of knowing of or comparison. Like I had a meeting yesterday, and it was like everybody was just looking like, oh, I know I can feel it, or maybe I can understand or have an insight, or, and it's nothing about that. That's too complicated. It's even before that. Everybody is it. Everybody can do it. It's nothing special. So you think you have to. You always think you have to do something, to something else, and it's already there. It's already this, already talking or sitting like this or blinking the eyes, or
Yeah.
it's so close, even more close. It's not even close.
Mm.
And the looking is confirming that it's not there yet, in a way. And I think also when there's a kind of separation and there's a me, there's a kind of loss of, maybe there's also a kind of feeling there's something missing, of this is not good enough, of I'm not good enough. And then there starts something, and that's not only in the mind, it's just so energetic. It's also in the body and everything. So it can't be this because I don't feel it, or it can't, there's so deep feeling of not being good enough or something. It's not yet it, or it's so strong that's not only in the mind, but it's more than that. It's more, it's also in the body. And yeah, and that's not even, you don't even notice it because it's so you're so used to it.
Yeah. But it's almost as well that it's kind of, it's like seeking a validation, you know, how do you know this is it? You know, so when you hear this is it, you're kind of going, okay, so I'm obviously missing something that I can't see that it's it. So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
there's something, you know, I don't see it then. If I can't say this is it
Yeah.
and know that this is it, then the
Yeah.
natural thing is, well, then obviously there's something missing, if you
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah, and normally you try to know it, to try to be aware of it, or thinking, oh, is this it? You try to give it a name, or oh, it's just only the sitting. Oh yeah, okay, there's only the sitting. So you and you do the sitting. It's, but when the me falls away, it's like um, those thoughts don't come up anymore. So those thoughts about being, it's no, it's more like the me is a kind of worker. It's always busy trying to understand. Oh no, it's not understanding. Then you think,
Get
oh,
it,
it's
yeah.
feel. Oh no, it's not to feel. It's trying to uh, do nothing. Oh no, it's so, and it's everything. Is it isn't that. So it's kind of, oh, and then it's there. It's kind of um, it's not letting go, but it's kind of loss. It's more loss. And
Mm.
the me is more like, I want to find it. But
Mm.
if you hear in any time there's nothing to find and it's already there, it's kind of, the mind can't get hold of it. It's kind of frustrating, or
Yeah, you see, yeah. Well, I heard something yesterday. I was chatting to a friend, and he was describing somebody saying, you know, that there is no contraction, there is no me, and I felt, well, okay, but that's the other perspective. You know, that there's when it's seen, we'll say, but you see, this is the way, only way I can talk. I kind of put it on you or whoever I'm talking to, that something is seen that isn't seen for me, and so then that's what creates this sort of you know, two different perspectives, that something is that there is a me and there is a contraction, and it's felt, it's in this body, and I am here now. And now again, when you have these sorts of chats, that sensation can be flimsy, you can get lost in them, in that, but still the sense is, you know, you're in, this is in a body, this is time and space, and we're we're all alive and we're all going to die and all that. And so for me, that contraction is, that is how life is. And yet there seems to be another perspective that when that sensation disappears, there's everything is possible, including maybe the sense of being a person, that there is no, it's not anything, it's just everything. But again, you see, all that can be is somebody trying to understand this other perspective, because it feels like another perspective. And yet it also has a sensation for me of being careless, not interested whether anybody will hear this perspective or not. It's totally impersonal, and yet in that impersonalness that can be seen as, sorry, I'm talking those, but in that impersonalness it can be seen sometimes as, oh, that's cold, but actually, because it's so impersonal, it has that sense of electricity about it almost. And but yet still then, so that as a person you kind of go, okay, there's something that's seen there. That, you know, that's the language, I'm using that language, but you see something that I don't.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not about seeing. It's not, when a blind person, it's not about seeing or understanding. It's not an insight. It's more easy.
Yeah.
Because then there has to happen something. There has to, then it feels like, oh, now I'm not there yet, and you are there, so there's missing something. But there isn't missing something. And that's the misunderstanding. And it's kind of weird for the mind to hear that. Because the mind and the me, or how do you say, is the only thing it can do is searching or looking for it, or maybe understand it.
Yeah.
And this is about something else, so it can't get hold of it.
No.
And there are all kind of questions and things, and suddenly, and all those questions are not answered. There's no answer, because there's nothing going on. There is nothing lost. So if there's no answer, it's kind of, getting bored, or not going anywhere. So it's kind of stops. And then suddenly it's just obvious. Then it's just this. It's just obvious. It's nothing special. It's always there. It's not here. There is no here, or there's no something I see different as you. It's the same thing. There's the only thing extra is then that you think you see it.
Mm.
Or maybe you don't see it. Maybe it's that. Yeah, I think that's the difference. You think, I don't see it. I can't see it. There's something else. There's something missing. I think she sees something, and I don't feel that. But it's not one thing. It's just every time it's different. So it's not a state of seeing everything, or like always be in one, or something like that. It's just, and it's kind of tension somewhere, and then it's cold, and then it's talking, and just the same. It's just the same. There's no difference. The only thing, it's not trying to name it or trying to something. That's not happening.
Yeah. But it's also nothing to do with, it's nothing to, I imagine, it's nothing to do with remembering, or, you know, an experience that was had that is referred back to as, oh, no, now I've got it. So it's obviously, but then you see, if it's so, something, I know I keep coming back to this idea that it's somehow, say for example, there's a sense of home, right?
Mhm.
and feeling at home, or feeling like that this is it, that sensation of this is it, that it,
But it's not the whole day feeling, and I'm walking there and I feel, oh, this is it, and oh, this is it, and oh, this is like that. It's
yeah.
just walking and then nothing going on. It's just walking or thinking or everything is going on. There's, and it doesn't, there's, it's, and it's when the meat's gone, it's also, and that's another thing, it's very clear that there's something happening and in the same time it's not. The world is not real. It's real and unreal in the same time. So nothing matters. When there's a me, it seems like everything is solid and you have to relate with another person, or you have to watch what's going on, or you think you have a life and you have to earn money or things like that. But it's not your life, it's just life. And it's happening some way, but it's happening and it's not in the same time. It's not real. It's just energy, just flowing in all kinds of ways. And we are thinking, oh, we have to do it like this, and oh, we have to do it like this, and oh, no, 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 no. Oh, yes, now I'm going over. Oh, no, no, no. But it's just flowing in any way, and nothing matters. But because you don't have to go anywhere, it's just this, just what's happening. It, that's it already. So you don't have to look for it. You don't have to have an ambition or have to, I don't know what, but because this is already it. So simple, very it's easy and simple, and it's the most easiest because nothing is going on about do I do it right, or I have to do it like this, or that's no, that's for the me, it's like always there's something wrong, or there's something not yet there, or there's always
Yeah.
then there's the looking, and that's the misunderstanding. It's just this, it's just sitting with your arms like this, and the way you behave and the way that body does, and that's perfect. It's just like how it is. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just like that. And that can be pain, or there can be all kind of feelings. Sorry, okay.
Yeah, I suppose there is that kind of sense, though, too, of always in the sense of not arriving,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or in that sense of maybe it's there, or that feeling of oh, but what about this, or what about the universe? All those sort of stupid things kind of come up, and what there must be a source, or there must be how can it, how is it satisfying to feel like this is it, but it's not that, though, is it? It's not a feeling even.
No, it's not a feeling.
Obviously, it's so. So I suppose if yeah, obviously is the sense of the again, I'm trying to imagine the impersonal sense of this is everything, this is home. But then you see, my brain flatlines at the idea of this is
Kind of,
everything and nothing.
yeah, you're at this. That's of mankind, of people. We can so much abstract the things, and then it
Yeah,
becomes complicated. You're trying to understand or to make it visible, or how do you say it, in your mind, that you can have an image or things like that, or
yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's it makes it more complicated because it's already the movement of your lips. It's already there.
Mm.
It's only there, and then you say, and then there's a movement, and then, oh, that's it. And there's nothing trying to change it. It's just that, and then there's a feeling or nothing, maybe. I don't know. Just simple. It's not about understanding. It's not. I don't know. When somebody look at me and they say, what's in the interview we had with Anke, and then the first question she said, yeah, what about non-duality? Can you say what is the message? And I was completely, nothing came up. I didn't know. What can I say? I don't know. And then just in talking, there's something coming. So it's not
Yeah.
about knowing or understanding or seeing, or it's not like, it's more easy. It's more just looking or just sitting, or that's it. That's already there.
Yeah. So obviously this sort of uh, one part of me can understand, or can not even understand, but one part of me is drawn to what you're saying, and then the other part of me goes, yeah, but the me needs to, the me needs to drop away for that to be seen.
Yeah,
So I'm never going to talk to the same way that I can relate totally to you. Do you know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
because that's the way we operate. It's like, say we wanted to talk about a movie,
yeah,
and you'd seen the movie and I hadn't seen the movie. It would be better for me to have seen the movie so that we could both share that.
yeah,
And
sure.
that's the only way I seem to know. I want to see that movie too, but then obviously that's the thing, that nobody sees the movie. But
But
that
it's,
urge to see, that urge to want to seek to know that what this is, or what we're in, or what this is, that urge obviously dies though with the person, that urge to understand. Or
yeah, and it's, when you say, when there's never a me. It's not only there's no me here or so. There's there was never a me. So there's also that there's no me at all. It's kind of brain thing that produces a me and thinking that it has a free will and all that stuff. But there is no me. It's just what's happening. It's just moving, or, and it's not about that. That's also a lot of people think that I thought the same thing. Because then when there's no me, how do you know? Or I have to, that must be very clear and obvious, then a moment, then there's no me. And it's the other way around. It's kind of, something stops, and then it's just there, but it was always there. It's that thing that's overlaid it just stopped. So the looking stopped. And it's not about then there was no me. There was already no me. There's never been a me. That's kind of misunderstanding, because that's so, yeah, in the nature of how people react on each other. It seems so normal that there's a me. It's never questions, but it's just happening. There's no free will. There's no time. It's just happening, and in a sometimes weird way, and you can't understand. It's not justice or anything. It's just happening. It's a kind of energy thing. Oh, what's happening?
don't know. I don't think it's on my side. Maybe you got a message in.
Oh, maybe, yeah, I see one there. Oh, yeah, that's nothing. Okay. Yeah.
We in a sense, it's not that there's a me then. Maybe there's just this energetic sensation of this isn't it, and that's the me. this energetic seeking of orchestrating of it's this tension, and okay, it felt like it's a me, but actually what it is just this movement, energetic mirage, that this is not it, must be here, I need to find it, or and whatever it is there, there will be peace, or there will be liberation. But that's what the me is in every single thing. It's this tension, this
If there's tension, then that's it. Then there's always kind of naming it, or thinking, or if there's tension, there's the me, that is the me that's looking. It's just tension. It's just and not quiet. That's what's happening. That's already it. That's it.
Mm.
It's not peace. It's not all day like peace and.
So what is peace anyway? I don't actually want peace. I'm just for clarity.
Boring.
Yeah, I don't want peace. It's just be too. No. Yeah. No, thank you.
It's just life. It's just life in any kind of way. It's kind of life, and it can be just sitting or watching television, or I don't know. It's just the same thing. It's just the same. It's no different life.
Mm.
It's just the same. And the only thing there is that the difference is that you think it's not. In a way, it's like always. Yeah, but isn't it? This isn't it. Yes, it is. But there's something looking for kind of, maybe there's some image, or I don't know. I had always a kind of feeling that is something special, of something different than what I know, and that. But I have, and I wanted always to be on another place. Also, when I was somewhere, I wanted to be somewhere else, because I thought that's better. It's always looking for something better.
Yeah.
But it is not there. When there's no me, there's no escape. It's nothing is better. It's just that, and it can be a horrible feeling. Then it's that. There's no escape. And the whole structure of trying to escape and trying to make things better, or be positive. I was always like, I have to be positive, and then I feel better, and I was smiling and things like that. And then it doesn't work anymore. So when there's kind of irritation, it's just there. And maybe it's coming out or not. It's the character, how the character's working. But nothing changes in that sense. Well, maybe the character is more blossoming. It's more coming out, because there's no restriction, like you have to behave differently, or that kind of construction. That doesn't work anymore. So it's just coming out in the way Frank is. And it's also when there's a lot of there was always in my body, there was always a lot of tension. It's not immediately relaxed. That's kind of energetic thing, that maybe the body gets more intense or gets sick, or I don't know. It's not more. It's in a way it's relaxing, but it can also be more tense as a reaction on something. So it's not a better life. So
it's no life.
It's no life at all, but it's not better than before.
And would you have? I definitely have the inclination to ask you. You like there was a time when you were looking for this, and then that seems to have stopped.
Yeah.
Looking for this.
Yeah.
And then it's, you see, I'm using old words, but obviously words I've heard, but obviously this, as opposed to you getting it, this revealed itself. this revealed itself as it is it? Or, but obviously, I can't help but put the words like that something happened or something changed, whereas you were looking to see that this was it, and then suddenly that looking stopped and this was it. Do you know what I mean? Something happened.
Yeah.
I
And
can't
then
help but put that on you. But is
no,
that true?
and
Is that true? Is that true?
no, it's not happening because it's in the story it seems to happen because in the story you could talk about time and before that and after that, but there's nothing happening and there's nothing changing. It's just every time it's new. So then when there's looking, then it's just there's looking. That's the same thing. That is, it's not how do you say it? It's also this. It's just then the energy is in thoughts and things like that, and then that's this. It's the same thing.
Mm.
And the thinking that it has, yeah, it's difficult to. There's no before and there's no after. It's just only this, so nothing is happening. Nothing happened because it's always you. It's always only this. There's no real world. There's no other places or so. This is everything.
Wow.
So there was no before. There is no before.
So almost, but let's just say everything that the person that you know about the idea of being in a place in time on a planet in a universe,
Yeah.
you know, all of those things are just not. They're um, you know, blocks on top of to give somebody a life, almost blocks to, you know, but they're not true really, is what you're saying in a way. You know,
No,
all of those things. Not true
it's
is the wrong word, but
not
it's
real. It's a
not real.
construct.
Yeah.
It's abstracting things, and we are very much able. Then, so you can also look to a movie because you're able to add things when there's not. It's not on the images. It's not happening, but in your mind you add things so it becomes a story. That's only on a movie you see it, and then when you're thinking about your husband or I don't know somebody, then it's in an image in your mind, but it's not. It's just that, or a remembering. You think about I have a past, but it's just a remembering, and then it's gone and it's not there.
Mm.
But it seems so real because you're used to make it something, but it isn't something. It's just thoughts about another country or about whatever, and then yeah, it's gone and it's just this. We're sitting here and that's it.
Yeah, it's the actual the taking of those things to be that story of blah 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 blah, taking all that to be real. Not that that's a doing, but that is what's happening. That all of those things are taken as real.
Yeah, yeah,
Those images in mind are real.
yeah. It seems to be real. Yeah,
Seems to be real, yeah. But for the person,
yeah.
wow.
But it's just images.
Yeah, like even the idea of outside the room here, for example, is
Yeah, yeah,
an idea, an
yeah.
image that you
It's an
take to be
image in your
real.
mind, and that's it. There's no outside. This is it. It's very easy. It's very just so simple and easy because this is it. This is all. There are no parents, no world. Just this. And this is there, and also it isn't. That's
That one kills me. That one kills me.
You think your body and you are real. And that's why you think I have a life and I have to find something and I have to do, and this is important, this search or thing. But it's not happening. It's not even a body, it's just energy. Nothing is important. Nothing matters. Whoa. Whoa. And then just everything is just like going. It's like what I noticed, it gives a kind of joy because nothing matters. It's just going, and it's not joy when there's sadness. It's not joy in sadness, but it's kind of joy. But it's not my joy. It's just life is aliveness. It's just aliveness.
Yeah, it's very interesting what you said though there. Just say even then you take liberation liberation is real. You know, you might get rid of everything, but then you go, well, liberation still though, that's real. But even that's another image in the mind that you've taken as you know, real. And even when you hear there's no liberation, you kind of go, no, don't take the liberation away. Can we just say liberation, leave it there, and we'll keep that one as real. We'll get rid of everything else, but let's just keep liberation as real. But that's the same movement again, isn't it? Oh, another, this is making something else real and solid and true to get to.
Yeah. And you can look for it. Then you can look for it. So it confirms also the search. It gets you alive. It's a strange thing is when there is kind of, you think there's liberation and maybe someday it will happen in a way. And you don't say to me because you know it's not about me. So you say, oh, someday it will happen. But then there's something wrong in this moment. So that's a kind of very smart way to stay alive.
Yeah.
Because then there's still some looking or something to do or some do, and it's death. It's nothing else than this. So it's death. It's more easy to think I'm longing for that, but this is not only about longing. It's also about death. It's kind of disappointment because there's no hope.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon too, though, in a way that yeah, I'm having a flat line. But this sense, you know, this looking for others, it is, you can see how you stay alive, because it's like, you know, say you have a really strong belief in something, right?
Yeah.
And that you'll want to, you know that those the words of "I will defend this belief to my death," because almost it is a part of what makes you the person is that belief, and so that taken away, along with every other thing that is made up of the person, does feel like death. Because what if I left if I don't have my beliefs or my, you know, liberations or whatever? So then there's nothing. Oh.
I don't want nothing.
Yet there's something quite lovely about that.
Yeah.
Having not having nothing but nothing.
Yeah, sure.
I suppose that is the
Because it's nothing and everything in the same time. It's not only nothing. It's not a black hole. It is just nothing and everything.
not a thing. Yeah.
And
Not a thing
everything.
that can be held onto, or
Yeah, no. And it's kind of, the structure is kind of building, and it needs maintenance. It needs to because the structure is not a real structure. It's you have to do it every time again. So if there are no thoughts anymore about holding that structure, it falls out. It falls apart. So it needs a lot of energy. The me needs a lot of energy to just maintain the structure or the building or the making, the belief system things.
Mm.
And if some beliefs fall away, then the structure just, how you say, moves, and then suddenly it's not there anymore, or maybe some structures are gone. It's also possible. Most of the time, it's not in one day. It's just falling apart in different moments in the story. It's about loss.
Say that again. It's what?
About loss.
Yeah.
And loss seems kind of okay, that's okay, but the structure is your life, so it feels threatening in a way. So this message is kind of threatening, and then when it's about loss and no hope, it's like, oh my God, I want to look for it and I want to go somewhere. I do everything for it, but it's not that. It's kind of loss and threatening and about death. Something else.
Mm.
The strange thing is when there's no me anymore, and when that falls away, it's how do you say, it's just easy then. It's kind of just normally before death or before the fear is always very strong before, and then when it happens, it's like, oh, you know, it also in life, it's the same thing, I think. And before something is getting only, oh, there's a lot of fear, and then it's happening and think, oh, and it's the same, like a lot of fear. And then when I met Tony Parson, there was a lot of fear. There was something, I don't know why, but it was so strengthening. And then when this happened, it was like, oh, it's just that. It's kind of easy. It's just normal. You don't think about it. It's just life. And it's not about that you think, oh, this is life. It's just making coffee, reading, eating cakes. I don't know.
Lovely cakes. Oh, I love cake. I'm off sweeties at the moment. Anyway, that's.
And it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm gonna be a very fat woman. Okay, then I don't know. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. It's kind of, yeah. It's kind of. I was always also with food. I was so obsessed with that I had to be healthy and not too fat and all that kind of things. And I was watching what other people ate, and then I ate something less. Kind of weird.
Yeah, control. That's control. Yeah.
So much in when you see it from in somebody else's life, you think, oh, what you're doing, but for yourself, it's so normal, or so, yeah, kind of, how do you say, obsessed.
Yeah.
You can't do it differently.
Mm.
That's also what's happening. It's kind of energy that's in the body, and it's going on till it stops. That's it. And it doesn't matter if it stops or it not stops or doesn't stop. And it's like that. And there's somebody who's like this, I have to have this. Why not?
Mm.
Why not? That's the same thing.
You can, yeah, sometimes you kind of see how clearly that's this the person trying to control all these little tiny things in their life,
Yeah.
whether it's food or it's fun or it's exercise or it's relationships or it's every single thing, trying to kind of negotiate to almost protect this image of itself. I don't know. Anyway.
Because you there's deep down something, this is not good enough. there's something there about not worth it or not good enough or guilt or something like that. And that's so strong. And that's in the whole body. It's kind of in every action can. And then the misunderstanding is that there's something wrong. There was never something wrong, but it's so embodied. And then you start to look for a better person or a healthier or better world, or everything has to be better in some way. That's the misunderstanding is before that. It's like there's nothing wrong. It's just behaving like that. That's it. And it may be a jerk, but then that's awful for some people. Then it's that. So what?
Then it's, what did you say? Then it's death.
It's awful, and then it's hurting people by saying something. Then it's that what's happening, and it's not a more social life. It's just what's happening, just what comes out. I don't know. But we always think there has to be change something because it has to be more gentle or more coming out. I thought I had to be more quiet, or I don't know. Everything, it's always something else.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. That's it. It's so obvious. It's how can people not see it? It's so normal. It's so, we are so used to think it's not good enough, so we have to change it or we have to do. It's just abstracting things. That's people. It's just living like an animal or a tree, or just sitting there and just doing or just living. And when they're thinking it's not good enough, then that is what's happening. It's not you doing that, it's just what's coming. So then there are a lot of thoughts. That's also what's happening. It doesn't have to change. Not knowing what to say.
I'm
That's
not even
it.
trying to, yeah. No, but you can see, yeah, you get swamped in, well, I get swamped in this sort of thing from time to time, but you can see, sure, how we train everything in our lives is like from the age of 2, 3, eat your vegetables and you'll get dessert, and study here and you'll get this, work hard at this and you'll get that, be more peaceful and God will love you, and all of these things. I could see, in a way, you know, the Shakespeare thing, it's much ado about nothing, or it's all sounds of, you know, sounds of fury and something signifying nothing. You can get that sense sometimes of it's all a big load of hoo-ha. It's wonderfully meaningless almost.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, meaninglessness and hopelessness and all of those things appear like terrible things. But, you know, in the world, because everything has to have meaning and purpose and reason, and a need to have that meaning. And that is, and without those, that's seen as, oh God, that sounds terrible. But I suppose that's the, in a way, that it's kind of the rock and roll to that sense of, you know, that carelessness and hopelessness. There's a bit of a rock and roll about that feeling.
Yeah.
But then I was chatting to somebody who said some people seek hopelessness. I thought that was funny. I thought that was Tim Kliss who said he knew people who go out and seek hopelessness. I'm hoping for hopelessness.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But no meaning, then every sentence, every thought, in a way, seems to have a meaning
Yeah.
to bring you somewhere. But it's just a thought.
Yeah. I was trying to say something important, or that everything should have meaning, or be, you know, poetic, or be something. And it's so ludicrous, really. You know.
Yeah. And if there's no meaning, wow, everything is just what it is. It's just that. Nowhere to go, just that.
Yeah, the truth though is I love this, and it feels terribly sad at the exact same time.
Yeah, yeah.
But I couldn't tell you, you know, I couldn't give you a reason for either. That's just how it feels.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we should end on that happy note. Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful way to end, isn't it? Terribly sad and hopeless at the same time, and I like
Yeah,
it, and I'm sad.
yeah, 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 sure. It's also, in a way, it's a disappointment. Sure.
Mm.
Sadness. Yeah.
When it's communicated in a certain way, it is consistently disappointing, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
You don't come away with a few things that you can hold on to, or to learn, or, you
Yeah.
know, at least I've got that. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
normally from chats, so well, I can take that away from it. Whereas it's
Yeah. Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of nice. The
Yeah.
freedom is the talking, I suppose. The
Yeah. And sometimes it becomes very clear, so that feels nice also, but that's also nothing. It's just clear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just the sadness is it. It's just sadness, and yeah, that's it. No purpose anymore, no looking, no, just sadness or sitting, or you don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen. That's it. No insight. It's not becoming then the thing that's sometimes thinking, oh, there's sadness, and maybe this is it, maybe this is it. It's not like that. It's just a sadness. That's it. And then maybe the coming thoughts. No. And there are thoughts then. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's so normal. It's so absolutely normal. And somewhere you're looking for something, but it isn't something. It's just sitting, moving the head. It's just happening. Not you doing it, it's just what's happening. It's very little, it's very small, normal.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's so this sort of thing is wonderfully ordinary and almost beautifully boring,
Yeah.
but not boring. That's the wrong, yeah, but it's because it doesn't have to be anything else, being everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
there's no, anyway, there's no reason to. So wonderful that there's so little, there's not even so little, there's just nothing in it for the seeking mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
There's no reason I should like this at all. No reason at
No.
all.
No. Mm.
Anyway, there we go, Rose. I
Uh,
enjoyed talking to you.
uh, mm. Yeah. It's nice talking to you. Sure, I think so.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
nice. Um, I think we're at an hour, more or less.
Okay.
So what I might do is what I will do is I put it up on YouTube. I don't edit it or anything like that. I just put it up as it is. You know, I put the whole lot up. I don't put any,
Mm.
just as the conversation as it is. And so I'll send it, the YouTube link and then the audio link. And, you know, on Apple, you know, the podcast. So you'll have both.
Yeah.
And there you go. Yeah. It's, do you, yeah. How long were you looking at this? Can you say? Even you were obviously, you looked into this thing for a while in your life. There was a time of looking for this. Was it? Did it go on for a while, or did?
Yeah, it was alone. I think alone. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
think when I was a teenager, it started already. There was something different. I thought this can't be it. There's something else. And I did a lot of all kind of groups. I was working for myself, and I did all kind of things. And always I was something. I do this, but this is it. But there's something else, but I don't know. So I'm doing this, and then just go on. And then suddenly, when I think after I don't know how many times, 20 years, something like that. And then I met Tony, and it was like, this is it. But I was very frightened. It
Yeah.
was just too tired. I thought, you have to stop. You have to stop. I was so, it frightened me also. I longed for it, but it was the same, what you say. It was so frightening.
Yeah. There is definitely something about the energy of it that it is. Like sometimes when I go into in the past, I would have gone to the meeting and I get overwhelmed with tiredness. It's a different sort of
Yeah.
tiredness that I could just collapse asleep.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But then it's funny at those meetings too. I'd also get there was a time when I used to think, oh, it's about the words, pay attention, or you know, you need to pay attention to. But then the last one in Holland, I got the sense of it's equally about. It was very equally about what was being said, and also what I was thinking, and also the ache in my belly. That there was everything was the same. There was nothing more or less important,
Yeah.
and that was just a sensation. And I was really relaxed with that idea. Just it felt
Yeah.
um, it was kind of so obvious. There's nothing to do with the technical words that are spoken, that it
Yeah.
was other.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still it's the last place on earth really that you want to go to, but yet somehow, I mean, the
Yeah.
amount of times I said, right, never going to a meeting. Well, I never go to a meeting again. Then of
Yeah.
course I went to a meeting. Then I made a film about this thing.
Yeah.
uh, somebody was saying something to me about, or Joey was saying something to me about the movie. It was great, and I kind of going, honestly, it doesn't make sense why I would make that movie. I honestly cannot relate to any motivation at all as to doing it, but it is obvious in a way, even if you almost put something on it, but it is obvious that the attraction to this sort of communication is way beyond anything that I'd want to do, because I don't want this.
Yeah, sure, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Amazing.
And so there is no death. There is no dying, in the sense of being born and dying. I used to always, I remember writing down once, you don't remember being born, and you can't be there for your own death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't be. I mean, because you're actually dead.
Yeah.
But so what's happening in between this sense of, you are alive for a while, you're alive at nighttime. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this, but just the sense of being alive.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the body or with you. It's just there. It's just in everything. It's just there. And when there's when there's separation, you think I have a body and it's happening in that body. But there's no person. It's just a body happening. Just the same as the floor or the chair. No difference. It's just energy in that form. So there is also no death, because that's just there's always something new. So then it's this, and then it's that, and then it's the body, and then there's nobody. It's the same thing. But there's nothing happening. It's not real. So there is not your life. It's just aliveness.
Yeah, wow. Funny, like, the last thing I'd say is, even though you hear this, you've heard it loads and loads, you still I still like hearing it, even though, like, it doesn't make sense to want to hear. If this was a song, I'd stop listening to the song because I've listened to the song too much.
Yeah.
I probably should just go, look, let's just try and listen to a new song. Because whereas this sort of fucking off. Oh, anyway. Maybe we will talk again sometime. Who knows if that worked for you?
Yeah, sure. I like it. It's nice. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice man.
Thank you for your time. See ya.
Hi, if you like the conversation that I just had and you'd like more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
Frank, come on, man.